Azure, my boy.
Omni, my boy.
We have got a killer guest for everybody today. For as you know, yesterday, CWF had a great show. CWF had the Krakencon boat show. And tonight, for all y'all, we have, for your listening pleasure, the one, the only, the current, reigning, defending, undisputed boat show champion, Parappa the Rapper, and his main character, Justin. Boom!
Bring it in.
How was that? How was that?
Oh, that is one heck of an intro. Can't ask for anything
good.
better. We need you to be the host next time. That was fun.
Bro, I actually...
Sir!
I legit
Sir!
want to at some point.
Hey, every rapper needs a hype man, okay?
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, but you also need the dumbass who's gonna be making fun of you, so that way you can have your good rebuttals.
I can do both. I can do both. What you talking about? Justin.
I mean, now you sound like a fool.
Oh man, Justin, welcome to the show, dude. Welcome to the show.
Thank you much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So.
Hey,
man.
you got a fan in the chat already,
Hey.
Justin.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
I have fans, what?
Parappa's biggest fan. Let's go.
Hey.
Man. Yo, so, Justin, I gotta ask, how does it feel to be the reigning, defending, I would argue undisputed, because we learned a little fact about you as we were talking before the show. You are currently the only CWF superstar to have retained the boat show champion at Krakencon.
That is true. As long as this title has been going on, this is the first retention.
Very nice.
And the title's got a bit of a history. I mean, it's kind of been it's trade hands for a few years, mostly going between me and the guy who plays Bill Nye. You've just been like, okay, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. This time I just flipped to the flow, and I kept it this time.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's funny because throughout the tenure of CWF, we have the back and forth. We always have the back and forths. We always have like the Mario versus the Jotaro / Yugi / Skeletor, or the I think it then turned into the Phoenix Wright / Trashman / Coach Connors bit, and then for the boat show now we just have Bill Nye / Blackbeard versus Parappa and his other characters. I don't know, Justin, do you want to tell the crowd your other characters?
You're trying to get me to tell them in my first one. We're not going there. That is not part of the stream.
I don't know.
But
maybe we should. I think we should go into that.
I'm gonna limit this to the ones that were involved in the boat show, because the boat show, after we came back from the pandemic, that first show, it was Blackbeard versus the Winter Soldier, and that was Bucky Barnes. That was one of my first big characters that I actually started traveling with and took him everywhere.
That was
Bucky won the first show.
The first thing I saw you with.
Oh, it probably was, because I've been doing Bucky for a while at this point. And the story behind this title is that when Bucky won the boat show, he himself forged the title to be his legacy after he retired, because he knew his time was kind of coming to an end. So when he lost the title to Bill Nye, the last thing he said before he left is, now it's time for this soldier to do as all old soldiers do, and fade away. And he walked off the stage, 2 people still chanting his name, and Bucky retired from the CWF at that point. And Bill Nye carried the title, basically held on to it for a while, and then Parappa, I decided to debut as Parappa at the same show. And I know this looks like a hip-hop chain. That was not done intentionally. Parappa was not even on my mindset when I made this. But
no,
it works.
So
no, the evolution of Parappa's hip hop chain is just gonna be like it's gonna be like that redonkulous sized chain, but at the end the emblem is just gonna be, I'm at such and such con, and it's just gonna be like an LED screen.
So
that's the evolution.
That's actually a good idea.
when I saw your Parappa at ALA this past year, and I saw like the boat, I didn't put two and two together. That was the boat show title. I thought that was just part of your gear. It fits so well.
Well, the whole point of me making this a chain is that unlike Fanime, ALA, it's not one of our main shows. It's not one of our biggest shows, but it's still a show that is very near and dear to a lot of us, especially the ones that go there. Like I said, it was where I retired the Winter Soldier. It was where I debuted Parappa. It's always had like a spot for me. So making this title was meant to be something that can be held simultaneously. So instead of having like belts on each shoulder, I gave you something that you could actually like wear in addition to a belt.
I like that.
So it was meant to be like a title.
Honestly, with the direction that CarrierCon is going, with how yesterday was, I think it's actually growing to be a NorCal circuit staple.
Dude,
for sure.
And
that place was packed.
You guys had a huge. How many people was in that room? There had to be like.
I lost count.
Okay, to clarify, it's not a room. They basically box off part of the deck.
Okay.
So we had the stage, we had all the rows of seats and standing room in the back.
How many rows?
There were so many, and they filled the seats and they kept where they were, and not to mention, this was right after the panel of Pippa. We came on after Pippa. And they all stayed.
I think you sent me a picture of the room. Let me try to find it real quick.
I did.
It was definitely packed. I'm starting to think this is our biggest little show, if that makes any sense.
No, this room. There's got to be over 100 people in here. Hey, I'm gonna put this on screen.
Oh, for sure.
Quick.
And that's not counting the ones that are off to the wings that you can't see, that are still listening in but can't quite see it. No, that place was packed.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do like this room. Like I've never been to CarrierCon, and like I didn't realize like it was actually like on like a boat. I think I don't know if it was Rico that told me or if it was Daniel that told me. One of those guys did, and
I told you.
Were you the one that told me? I can never.
I told you because this is my fourth time being on the boat. Justin, is it 4 or 5 with you? Because I know there was a time that I didn't show up.
I've been at every boat show, and that's also why this title even says the name USS Hornet, because that is our only show that actually takes place on a Navy ship, an actual Navy museum, which is the USS Hornet. It does make it really awesome. You get there's all the memorabilia there. If you haven't been there, honestly, and you're within range to go to that museum and check it out, it is worth the visit.
Yeah, so
because it is still there.
I'm kind of covering everybody, but yeah, this is the crowd that they pulled off at CarrierCon. It looked that is a full area. Like there's well over 100 people in there.
Yeah, it
Not
was
to
so
mention
full, we had to change our walk-on. So instead of going down the center, instead of going to the aisle, we came up from the front because there was no way in heck we were getting down any of the front rows.
No, like it looks great. Like I didn't realize CarrierCon like hold like that big of a. Because I've done a couple like SoCal cons and stuff as well too, and like San Diego Anime Con, not last year but like the year before. Oh, that's because I'm afraid away from my microphone. My bad. I turned mine down a little bit because I'm a loudmouth, but Thank you, Spork. Good looking out, yo. But no, like even like our smaller cons kind of like here, they don't get nearly as many as what I see right here. Like it's crazy. I was actually thinking about going to CarrierCon this year, but money and vacation requests didn't quite add up. But,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Decree says we should have a show at Margaritaville.
I'm so in. I am so in. Get me wasted away. Get me wasted away.
Let's go. Everybody go on show. Loser buys the margaritas.
I'm down.
I can't afford to lose. Y'all are expensive drunks.
I can't afford to lose either, especially on the cruise.
That is a show none of us can afford to lose. Also,
let's twist it up.
We have a special guest in this stream. My cat.
Hey. All right, we're
Viewership went up. Ah!
Skyrocket. The cat's on stream. Let's go.
The stream has peaked. The stream has peaked. We can retire now. We can retire now, boys. We can retire now.
Well, I mean, there's another cat in the chat too. Hey.
That is a spoiler for a future episode. Hint, hint.
Haha.
Yeah.
I know we're still in the.
Your Godfather.
Are you sure you don't want to be Mr. Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil.
No. You come to me on this the day of my daughter's wedding and ask me for a favor. Tell me.
I was gonna say, since we're still on the topic of like how big the crowd was for Krakencon, I'm gonna also amplify it. Is that because like the entire show is all on it's all inside of the boat, and it's not, you know, there's not really that many borders except for like, you know, the blinders and everything. So right next to the main show is also the artist alley. So everybody in the artist alley can hear everything that's happening,
whether they want to or not,
on the main stage, whether they want to or not. I mean, I remember getting everybody ready over at on the side to get ready for the show, and I looked at some of the vendors, and I'm just looking. I'm like, oh, I am so sorry for the volume. just be forewarned. It is going to be a little loud, and I do appreciate you.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta deal with my booming voice and my off-key singing.
Okay, I think we can go into that proper now. So, Omni, if you have any.
I haven't seen Krakencon yet because unfortunately they weren't able to live stream. This just happened yesterday. It wasn't able to be live streamed because apparently the internet on the boat was not great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 100% ass. Yeah. I can go over that like in detail. Like there are, because it's on an aircraft carrier, there are a bunch of dead spots. Like you go to one side of the boat, you got no signal. You go to the middle, hey, you got signal. You go over to where the main area is, you got no signal. Yeah, sure. There's the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is also being taken over by a bunch of VTubers as well.
Yep.
So, I didn't even talk about what's inside of the boat in the lower decks. But we didn't even go there, so that's not
I avoid the lower decks if possible. I know we had one show that was below deck, and anyone that was there knows that Bucky Barnes did his finest impression of a stormtrooper by smacking my head on one of the overhead pipes going up the stage. And I'm pretty sure the video that's somewhere. Awesome. Me walking up the stage, menacing, and just going, "Ow!"
So
people my size are not meant to go below deck. I mean, it's like freaking hurdle jumping, trying to get through the bulkheads, just like.
Lower decks. Lower decks
are not for me. I'll get TKO'd by the lower decks.
So, unfortunately, there wasn't a VOD. Well, there will be a VOD of Krakencon. The entire show was recorded, but it's not up on YouTube yet. It still needs to be edited and stuff like that. So I have no idea what happened at Krakencon. So how about this for the first little bit of the podcast? How about you guys go over Krakencon? I will sit here and enjoy my Chinese food and pipe in on things where I feel is appropriate.
Okay. So for those who are not in the know, Krakencon is a convention held over on the USS Hornet. For those who don't know what the USS Hornet is, the USS Hornet is an old warship back in World War II. And it is stationed over here in NorCal. And like the Hornet was repurposed to become a naval museum, basically showing the exploits and of the Hornet itself. And
just if I could chime in, it wasn't just used for World War II; it was also used as part of the Apollo missions.
That's true.
I'm actually gonna
huge history.
Gonna put a picture of the Hornet on screen right now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, by regular means, it's just it is a museum that everybody can go to. But then there's a group that was like, "Oh, hey, let's hold a convention here." And so, therefore, yeah, it turned into CarrierCon. And originally, like, it was just, it was a small convention. Just your admission gave you admittance to the museum as well. So not only did you have like artist alleys and like the small groups that go here and there, but you also got to explore the boat. You can go onto the flight deck. You can go to the lower levels.
Sweet.
It is, really is. Oh.
Yeah,
Definitely try to do CarrierCon next year. I definitely want to do
and
it.
for sure.
Now let's fast forward to how it is now. Now, because of the success of because now they're heavily collabing with Offkai, and they had the success of the first VTuber convention, not convention, the first VTuber concert that was held there. Now there's more of there's getting more of a VTuber presence showing up there, and you get to see more of those talents showing up and just exploring the convention. And because of that, and also they had another concert after the main con. Yeah, it got super packed.
Damn.
No, it was huge. Like it's gotten bigger every year, but this year, like the line was around the boat, basically.
Damn.
Like it was a massive line to get in, but it's worth it. It's a great show. It's great to see the history, especially if you're like me and you're history buff. It's just like, oh, the planes, the copters. Oh.
What do you think is gonna happen if it gets too big for the boat?
I
There's
don't
gonna stick
think
something on the top
it's
deck,
gonna-
probably.
Yeah, they're gonna
Put more
do
on the top
stuff on the
deck.
top deck, and they're gonna open more stuff on the lower deck.
Gotcha.
But
Well, the lower
like,
deck kind of has a limit. Yeah, I think it'd probably be more inclined to put stuff on the top deck. But the issue with top deck is wind.
Yeah.
I will say though, because of how big, like, if you haven't been on the boat, you don't realize how big it is until you actually get on it. That's the thing. Because if you're standing on it from the dock, you're like, oh hey, a boat. And then when you go up those stairs onto the bridge going into the boat, then you go, oh shit, a boat.
Nice.
Take a long, hard look. I'm on a boat.
Oh, man.
and just now, I'm just giving the TLDR. There's also groups now, because of how CarrierCon is picking up. They're thinking of collabing with other maritime museums to do conventions there. Like
That's pretty cool, honestly.
yeah, actually, one of the VTuber groups, V Fleet, they're the ones that are actually also heavily promoting doing more conventions for the museums, because not only are they a VTuber group, they're a VTuber group on promoting any military museum
Oh,
and giving
nice.
awareness of those.
Oh, that's
Nice.
super cool.
Yeah.
It really is cool.
But anyways, now we can go to the other
boat
fun
show.
stuff. We can talk about the boat show. Now,
boat
as
show.
far as the boat show, I guess aside from the time that it was on the lower decks, it's always been on the main stage. And the main stage setup, let's see, how can I describe it? For those of you who've been to Fanime, it's kind of like Stage 0. It's on the floor. It's right there. You cannot not walk past it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's right in the middle, right next to Artist Alley, right in the Heartland. You have to walk past it, and it ends up being a massive bottleneck because there's always standing room only at certain points. So it's like, oh well, good luck if you're trying to get past.
I guess we're watching
I'll say this much, Omni. Just picture when we did Anime Las Vegas, but actually all of us getting attention.
Oh, Okay. Okay.
That's the context I can give you on how you can visualize how this could be or how this can look.
Yeah, it was an impressively sized crowd. Honestly, I always get surprised when we go in because it's like I said, this is one of our smaller shows, but the audience participation is always huge because we have some of our shows like the room's pretty small, we still fill it out, but this is like we have a pretty good sized space, and not only are we filling the space, we're filling the standing room, we're filling the wings, we're causing traffic jams, we are a fire hazard.
So basically,
Yeah.
in SoCal, our goal is try to get noise complaints. However, it sounds like at CarrierCon, the goal is to create a fire hazard.
Well, it's because no one's gonna complain about the noise. You're on a boat.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, man, we're not only a fire hazard, we're also a noise complaint, but also just So the other thing about CarrierCon, and because it's a military museum, we also have veterans working there as staff. So of course, the entire time they're looking around like, oh, whoa, what the hell?
That does remind me of when I first brought Bucky there, because my entire opening sketch was riffing on the Navy. For those who don't know the history, Bucky Barnes in canon was an Army sergeant. So of course, me being Army sergeant on a boat must talk as much smack as possible about the Navy. And what made this hilarious is I could see like most of the veterans in the back, and you see them all just kind of getting like they start getting more and more angry. The audience is also feeling these anti-military vibes, and I could practically feel the torches getting lit, the pitchforks being sharpened. I'm just like, I'm about to die, aren't I? But
yes,
Navy's
still better than the chair force.
that is true, but I also altered course, saying, Bucky is Army.
Hey, you know what?
This is a brotherhood. I'm just giving you hell. That's it. Don't mean anything by it. It's just brotherly love at this point. And the pitchforks got lowered. The torches were fine. Like, oh no, he's just giving a shit. Okay, we're good.
Hey, I'm the son of a Marine, so screw all of you.
Hey, well, what are you talking about? I'm also the son of a Marine.
Based Azure.
Okay, so I guess for lunch, what flavor crayon do y'all want?
I am particular to the blue. However, sometimes you gotta have a red with a dash of yellow. Just Yo, so I actually did that. I got my dad some baseball cards for the Marine Corps birthday, and on this particular, because I usually get my dad baseball cards for his birthday because it's something he always likes. But for this particular one, I opened up the box, but I kept like all the packs in there, and I layered it atop. I put it in a to-go tray like this, and layered it with like a 64 pack of Crayola crayons, and I just looked at my dad and said, "Hey, I got you something. Bon appetit." He opened it up and saw the crayons. He's like, "I fucking hate you," and I was like, "Dude, it was." He started laughing. It was so funny though. It was great. Oh man.
It's the low hanging fruit of jokes to use against Marines.
It's so good. It's so funny.
Just be sure you're friends with them before you say the joke. Make sure they have a sense of humor first.
Untied status Marine Corps. Oh man, we want to talk about the actual boat show.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Because so the actual boat show. So the hosts for the boat show were actually me and Mr. Wendell. Now, I actually had to think about who I wanted to go as for the boat show, because we didn't get a lot of solid confirmations until last week. So it was if G wasn't gonna make it, then I was gonna be on table and I was gonna be Gojo. Mr. Wendell already wanted to be on table, so there, because he wanted to fill up the announcer role. But then it was like, oh yeah, if G doesn't make it, then I'll be Gojo. If G makes it, and Ken wants to be on table, then I will enter as Bandit Keith. But then everybody just chimed in. It's like, oh, Azure, why don't you just be Bandit Keith? Everybody loves seeing Bandit Keith on that goddamn boat.
USA, USA, USA.
And I'm like, oh, at this point, it's unavoidable.
It's
like,
a meme at this point.
It is, because like you, I have to express this so much, because every carrier con that I've worn Bandit Keith at, I always get double takes. Because they're just walking, and then suddenly, oh my God, is that Bandit Keith? And of course, in America.
As you should.
Yeah. And
Because I'm standing next to him half time this happens.
yeah. And it just carries on and on. I mean, of course, it's not just Carrier Con. It's just any time that I wear Bandit Keith.
Mhm.
Like, there was a Weevil. There was a freaking Weevil Underwood walking around. And they didn't get as much of a pop as Bandit Keith. I saw that Weevil Underwood. I'm like, oh, hey, dweeb. And they just looked at me and they're like, oh.
The abject terror.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, it eventually just turned into, yeah, I'm hosting the show as Bandit Keith with Mr. Wendell. We actually do an intro where we talk about like we introduce ourselves and we talk about how we both were in the same circuit for a long time. And I make the quip of, so, you know, Mr. Wendell, the difference between you and me is you retired. I'm still here. What do you have? Mr. Wendell just looks at me and is like, oh, I got more wins than you. And yeah, that was very
Cackling backstage too when he says
That's
this.
so funny.
because because the thing about Bandit Keith is Bandit Keith is still in heel mode, of course. So yeah, you know what? He has to be the conduit of taking the heat. He has to be the Matashita side of the table.
I was so happy you picked Brandon Keith because that gave me one of my best jokes on the table.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. So after our intro, we tell them everybody the rules, and then we introduce the reigning boat champion, which is, as you see.
Yep, Parappa the Rappa. And we do something a little bit different at the boat show in that the champion comes out first at the boat show.
Huh.
Because usually the champion comes out towards the end of most roller shows. At the boat show, he comes out first, most of the time. And that's usually because the boat show has a little bit of a different theming to other shows. Other shows, you're there to be, you're there for the belt.
Mm.
You're just point blank, you're there for the belt. The boat show, you're there to show why you are the best of all time. So there's a little bit of a homework assignment. You're not there just to win the belt. You got to say why you're the best, because you can't have this title if you aren't the best.
Okay.
So like, Bucky Barnes was the best soldier. Bill Nye was the best scientist. Obviously Parappa the best rapper.
Yeah.
So you have to have something that makes you the best. You can't just come in there like, oh yeah, I'm so and so, give me a title. You got to have something that makes you the best.
Okay.
And because of that, we usually have the champion walk out first to kind of give the call out, remind you, you're not here to win the belt. You're here to prove you're the best.
Okay.
And so that was my intro. So I go up there, and first thing I do, obviously, I thank the crowd. That was the show I started at. Like I said, this is my beginning and end show for a lot of things. It was the end of Bucky Barnes. It was the beginning of Parappa. First thing I did was thank the crowd, because without the crowd, I never would have had the audacity to bring Parappa to Fanime and somehow win there. Because Parappa was always meant to be my small show character. It's only because the boat show went so well that I'm like, maybe. You don't get to eat the title. It's not edible. But no.
Ladies and gentlemen, boat show title has been eaten by cat.
Yeah, that's the title you can sink your teeth into.
Hey.
Yeah, my intro was queuing up, doing my thank you for the fact that this, I've been there for a year, and then declaring that I want to make history being the first person to retain this title since its inception. And then I went through and gave the brief history. Started, sort of a rap. Mostly just be telling it with rhymes, which was like saying it started with Winter Soldier. Then it went to Bill Nye. Now it's mine. And then for anyone else coming up, make sure you explain why you're the best of all. And that's an important detail. Someone found out the hard way what happens if you don't listen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, why you're the best of all. And then I did my, textbook ending, which is basically saying, show me what you got. If not, I'm coming out with a kill shot. Obviously, throwback to Eminem's kill shot. And end with that, and that's how I go. And because I'm the current reigning champion, I take my privilege to sit at the desk and observe all the people coming up, because they are to see who actually has what it takes to try to be the best.
That's interesting. So the champion. So you're basically promoting to the champion the entire time.
Yeah.
The champion is always on stage, and because this is a smaller show, and because the champion's presence as the current best of all time is kind of a huge part of it, I put myself on stage so that they can diss me directly as part of their promos if they want to. They can come after me immediately, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to prove why they're the best. Why are they better than me?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, like I said, it's a slight difference in how this show goes, as opposed to other shows.
And then we can, so as Justin sits down, of course, Bandit Keith being the heel, has to do his quip. Like, yeah, I totally want to see somebody dethrone this performing dog. The only performing dog that I know is Air Bud.
Which, and of course, I hit him back with something along the lines of, I'm surprised you're here, Kelly, because last time I dissed you, you had to change careers.
Yeah, that burn was that was the best primer burn for what was to come. And
shot, I loved it. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's solid.
Because he's not competing. He's on the desk now. He doesn't want to deal with me no more.
We talked about this with the podcast we had last week, but like. Your disses are so good. It's so hard to keep it straight face. Like at ALA this year, when it was you versus me in the finals, you're rapping on me, and it's great. It's so good. I had to turn away to prevent myself from showing the crowd that I'm laughing my ass off. It got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, so I kind of had to shake it off. As I had to take the laugh and try to convert it into a is this it? In
Try to go sarcastic.
Yeah, but when on the inside, I'm just kind of like, God, this is funny as shit.
That is for those of you who are thinking about trying for CWF, that is the hardest thing to do, is keep a straight face when I'm dissing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of us can attest to this.
It's so bad.
All three of us can definitely attest to this.
You know what the worst part is, though? I was prepared for it, and I'm like, he's gonna make me. I'm like, this fucker's gonna diss me. It's gonna be good, and he's gonna try to make me break, and I still couldn't freaking do it. I'm so bad.
Time I opened my mouth, you were breaking.
Omni,
hilarious.
Omni, you forget.
Oh, I
was champion as Larry.
Oh, I know. You had it way worse than me. You had it way worse than me.
Trying to keep a goddamn straight face at Fanimania with everybody, including the entirety of the crowd, getting at me. So,
everybody
don't think you're alone.
No, I don't think I'm alone at all. Actually, I would argue with your character choice, you had it way worse than I did.
Oh, he did, because he's not allowed to say anything.
No, he's not allowed to say anything.
He's not allowed to break.
No.
Which, that's what makes it funny, because that what made it worse is I was using exclusively poke puns against him.
Oh no, you're a monster.
Yeah, my entire first round. Well, I played it up because canonically in history, canonically in our CWF lore, when Parappa was struggling to get his label off the ground, the person that helped him was Larry.
Okay.
There's a history there. That's part of their canon history. And if you saw it, first round I diss him really hard, and then I come back and I say I can't do this anymore, and then I basically come out. Then I'm basically spilling my heart to him, like, I'm trying to save you because you're overworking yourself. You're about to isekai yourself again.
Oh my god. I love that.
I'm not gonna make another mistake. I'm trying to stop you before you break. I was basically like spilling my heart, like, I'm here to win, to set you free, because you're working yourself to death. Yeah, and that was motivation.
It was a good title.
That's what's up.
It really was. It really was a good angle, and it was like I remember us talking about it, and it's like, oh, dude, you know what? That actually makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
I still was not
you
prepared for
go-
that to be a fatal a fatal three-way. That
Well, I'm
I was glad
never.
when that happened.
I
cried.
am never prepared whenever it turns into a goddamn triple threat.
Yeah,
Like,
the worst
you
part
know
is-
what? You're
ahead.
lucky. You're lucky that you actually stepped up and said and talked to Lashada and G, going, please don't make it a triple threat. I don't. I just roll with it, and if it happens, it always happens.
Dude, can you imagine if they would have thrown Jamie Gomes into our finals at ALA?
That actually probably would have gone better for me. That would have gone better for me, actually.
Really?
I already ripped up all of his stuff and stuffed it in his shirt. I mean, I already got the edge there.
I mean, that's fair.
Man, you both have edges against that. So you
yeah.
know.
But we've completely diverged. We're now 3 shows away. We need to get back onto the boat.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I said,
Okay.
I know nothing about the
So-
show, so enlighten me. Like, who did we? So Parappa comes out first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then-
First is Parappa, and then so just going in order. So first comes up Bay Area Anya.
Yep.
Bay Area Anya and Frankie come up. They do their thing, and you know, they're actually promoting. They changed their gimmick, and they're going with being, you know, they are the Bay Area Forgers, and they're gonna try to make a name for themselves and whatnot. And you know, if you remember seeing Anya on at Fanime, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a very good performance, but as I said, there was one person that did not pay attention to the assignment.
Yeah, and so after that was Armstrong. Armstrong is always nice to see.
You guys had an Armstrong right after
Yep.
right after I put Hughes on the shelf. I discovered that, and I was like, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be worse because our Armstrong can sing,
Oh, that's
Yep,
wonderful.
our Armstrong can sing.
That's
and I mean
wonderful.
sing good, really good.
Nice.
I do want to chime in about Armstrong that for his characters that have been that he's been bringing up to the to our shows, I think Armstrong is his strongest, and I want to see him build upon it, because I remember the first time he entered, he didn't enter as Armstrong, he entered as Tiger Millionaire, and he entered that back on the last Krakencon.
Oh.
And for those of you who don't know, Tiger Millionaire is that was Steven Universe's character in Steven Universe, because there was a wrestling episode.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So he
Not
like I actually had to dig deep into seeing who Tiger Millionaire was. But the thing was, you know the stigma of having your first show,
Yep.
and when your character doesn't pop, you have that, you get that small bit of depression, and you know when you get that, all of us are going to converge on you after show, and we're going to tell you, hey, you did really good. Don't think that you didn't do good. You did really good. Please build up on that. If you need help, we got you. We can help you build upon this. But if you have another character that you want to build upon, we can help you with that. Don't ever feel discouraged because this show the crowd didn't like you. Because every one of us have that one character where we just felt like, oh God, oh man.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Y'all
if I
won't let
can
me
be-
forget either.
I'll never let you
Which-
forget, but we're gonna go into that later.
No, we're not.
Which character? I think we will. I think we will.
No, we're not. We're not going into this. We're not
Yes,
discussing
we are.
this.
This is going to be mandated. We're mandating it right now on this episode.
Nope.
But it's going to
Nope.
be for the future.
I feel kind of bad. I can't relate to that because I won Yen and Vault on my first show.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's fair, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking Justin and I were in Discord for like 20 minutes. I had this idea for a promo. We were for like 45 minutes. We were in. I don't know why I said 20 minutes. For like 45, we were working on this. I'm like, he's like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, well, I was gonna do this, and then we combined it, and it was great.
But there was one thing I told you to go for though that you did, and it popped, and that was who's your daddy?
So I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to do something like that, but I wasn't sure how to. I guess I want to try to get a "Who's Your Daddy" chant started. But you're the one that was just like, why don't you just end with that? And I'm all like, ship it, let's go. It was great.
It went off.
It went so off.
Also, just seeing Armstrong come out with a Santa hat and pulling out the Santa hat with gifts where everything that actually made me crack up.
I have plans for Hughes down the line. Maybe I'll have to get in touch with Armstrong and see if we can't.
Oh, for sure, do it.
You definitely should, but also that just means that you have to come to some NorCal shows.
Oh, I'm down.
That's the thing.
No, so
Yeah.
I want to. I've been talking with Spork on Discord. I want to go up to SakuraCon. I definitely want to go to CarrierCon as well too. But I'm not. I think I told Azure a little bit. But I have some future plans for Hughes that I think could be quite interesting. But I don't want to pull the trigger on it too fast. But I also
well, like if you're gonna be thinking about that, that means I'm probably gonna have to be working on the other plans that I told you about that I would be doing with your Hughes, because I noticed that we don't have another major part. And I think he would be pretty good in the roster, but we're not gonna go for that right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so Armstrong comes out, does his thing. It was probably a promo that was passed down through the Armstrong line for generations.
Yep. And so after that, before show, me and Wendell actually had to do a coin flip on this because we originally had 6 competitors, but unfortunately, they had to drop out because one of them got sick. So, yeah.
Shout out to Sick Boy, feel better. Shout out to Sick Boy, feel better, or Sick Girl.
It was it was Pikachu Libre.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, them and their partner were gonna do a new character that they were really super hyped for, but they got sick.
Damn.
So shout outs, always love. But after so when we were doing pregame, I was doing the show breakdown, and we decided there. So number 3 was Ruggy Bucci. And every time Ruggy Bucci comes out, Ruggy Bucci wants to get that money. And how does Ruggy Bucci get that money?
This sounds like a you character, Azure.
It's not me. No. I'm not even gonna say who Ruggy Bucci is. I mean, if they want to say who it is, they can come up and say it themselves when they come on. But yeah, like for those of you who don't know who Ruggy Bucci is. Ruggy Bucci is from Twisted Wonderland, and Twisted Wonderland is the how can I put this it's the Bishonen Disney villains gotcha, where actually there was quite a few Twisted Wonderland cosplayers there, so they got their crowd there, and
yeah, there was like 2 rows that were like specifically every time it came up, Ruggy.
And another thing about Ruggy is that Ruggy is the human version of one of the hyenas from Lion King. So yeah, and of course before anybody could do a dog chant, of course Ruggy's like, I'm a goddamn hyena. Don't put me on the same boat as that dog over there.
So I was like, well then.
And,
Oh,
and I
wait,
mean,
that's who that is?
yeah,
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, okay. I know who this character. Okay, I know who's playing this character. I see them cosplay this all the time. I had no idea what it
Oh,
was
yeah.
from.
yep. And
Okay.
also, I remember I remember watching their intro going on, and whenever they do their intro, it's always a good show. But if you've been with them for so long, it's always a good show when you hang out with them. And I remember looking at Justin on the table, and I just see him go, whoa, whoa, just a silent whoa. Because as he sashayed past the curtains,
I can, now
just
that I know who it
hyping
is,
up
I
the
can like visualize this.
Yeah.
just
Pretty much.
just hyping up the crowd. He doesn't go up the stairs. He slides onto the stage.
Yeah, not even up the stairs, straight from the front, just whee. I'm just like,
Nice.
okay,
Yeah.
I respect that. I
And-
can do that.
That
Yeah. No.
bitch.
Not a dog though. But a dog though.
Oh, that's
Yeah. He does not a dog. Yeah. So that was Ruggy. That was number 3.
That's funny.
Entry number 4, of course, was Building.
I didn't know he was NorCal.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
NorCal.
Yes.
Nice.
And of course, Building do as Building does.
What?
Hey,
What?
Building does
What?
what Building do.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. I gotta ask him. Like, did the Stone Cold thing happen on accident, or did he intend to be like construction worker Stone Cold?
I want to assume. I want to assume the latter.
Okay, because that was when I first heard the Building promo, I died. That was so goddamn funny.
I will take credit for the OSHA thing though, because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I hit him with
that
that.
was-
In
that
one of the
was
first
fantastic.
shows, I get
That was
OSHA constantly. Because
No.
I think it was at Carrycon where I hit him with it the first time. It's like, you're on my ship now, not even OSHA can save you.
Oh yeah, and another thing about the show in general, we were actually all of the events were behind schedule. Some ran
Yeah.
on longer or started later than they should. So we were originally we had 1 hour. We got shaved down to 50 minutes.
Ooh,
Don't make it work.
So
that's a
we-
big shave.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
but
made it work.
we had to make sure everybody's hard cutoff was 3 minutes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Trish was not on the floor. She was helping with the laptop, but at the same time, I'm looking at the floor. I'm like, oh no, they didn't put the time.
Oh,
They didn't put the clock on the
no.
floor. So
There wasn't
even
really
though
any room for it
Building,
either.
yeah, even though Building did what Building does, he went over time.
Oh no.
So we had to send.
Yep.
So because of that, we had to send Trish over to him to get him off.
Cut him off.
But
Yeah.
Unplugged.
but you know what? That could kind of work for his character though. Like
It did. He made it work.
Yeah.
He made it work.
Like I have
Without
an
without
idea.
spoiling anything, he did make it work.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch this. I actually have an idea for a future character that I want that to be my gimmick, to where I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and then I have to get forcibly dragged off stage. So,
I'm gonna have to
I
drag you on
mean, one of the gimmicks for if Sans was gonna enter into the solo division, he was just gonna do his ultimate move and just stand there and nobody gets a turn.
that's funny.
But nah, we'll see if that actually happens or not. So yeah, Building does as Building did. Building went over time and had to get pulled off, or meekly told kindly to please get off stage because he's over time.
Shout out to
And
Trish.
yep, shout outs to Trish.
Shout outs to
And
Trish.
then
for sure.
finally, number 5, we all of us unanimously agreed that this always has to happen. Number 5 was Blackbeard.
Yo.
And Blackbeard came on and does what Blackbeard does best. Talking about degeneracy, piracy, and coming out with the sea shanties.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Except it wasn't sea shanties.
Oh,
it
Captain,
was
my
a dipstick sticking on
Captain.
the stage.
We're getting into that, buddy. We're getting into that. Yeah. So, he got his pops, of course. And again, mind you, the entire show, that crowd that you saw
Never
in that
left.
picture
No one
never left. They
amazing.
all were glued to their seats. Even AV on the side were all just watching us like, oh, whoa, these guys. These guys.
Standing room only was like people like pushing you, like trying to like nudge each other close. Like I can't see. Move over.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was
so
in the back.
good.
The
That's-
back was filling up so much.
That's so
Yeah,
good.
it was a complete traffic jam. There was no walking through that area at all.
Nice.
Nobody could go to the bathroom, and the bathroom was over there.
There were other bathrooms on the other side. To be fair.
Yeah,
guess-
to be fair, there was, but the closest one was there. Anyways, that was round one. Round one happens, and of course, because it's a small show, we get everybody back on. But
Round two, they
instead
had to come after me.
yeah, round two, they come after, they make their declaration to the champ. Now, because of time crunch, it was a 1 minute declaration, and we had to make sure that. So instead of getting everybody onto the stage, we just had Trish call them up one by one. So they all do their thing. Anya goes up and does their thing. Armstrong. Now we can talk about this. That's where Armstrong comes on, and that's where he shocked everybody because his
Hell out of me,
thing,
that's for damn sure.
music started playing.
I had to
and
look over
he
like, wait, is this
started-
intentional? I thought it was a
he
glitch.
started
No one told me they were
singing.
gonna do this.
He had background music.
He
Yeah.
had background music.
That's
I look over the AV and like, I look over the AV, they kind of nod like, oh yeah, this is intentional. I'm like, oh, what? Then I hear him singing like, wait, what? Man
Yo,
can sing.
I can't
Yeah,
wait
he's
to
got-
see this VOD.
Man got
Armstrong
pipes.
has chords. He's got chords.
He do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Parappa, you got bars.
got
Armstrong got
pipes.
chords.
Wow.
He got pipes, buddy.
And
he
I
did
was
that
caught
all in
completely off
the-
freaking guard. I
He
was
did
not
that all in the
expecting it.
minute. And I'm just like, holy crap. Where did this come from?
I had to respect it. Like my clap back. The first thing I had to do was be like, I respect that. That was good.
Yeah.
There's no way I can diss. I can't diss that. Just
No.
I can't.
And so again, everybody goes on in order. Ruggy comes on, and actually Ruggy was good. Was good to finish theirs a little bit earlier. She actually went 45 minutes and
Yeah,
or
seconds.
45 seconds. Seconds. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Scuff. Yeah, he goes 45 seconds, and then comes Building. Building does his rebuttals, and
Basically
do
calling me out
what
saying,
do.
basically it's calling me out saying because we've never actually gone head to head before. Been a lot of the same shows. We've never actually gone head to head.
don't worry, I'm leading into what you're gonna say. So
I'm just
and then
building the tension.
yeah, and then of course finally comes Blackbeard, and Blackbeard gives another shanty for everybody, and then so after everybody finishes, and then the champion response.
A question.
All
really
right,
quick.
buddy,
A
the
question-
floor is yours.
Real quick before
Or
you go,
lava.
is this One Piece Blackbeard or is this like Pirate from History Blackbeard?
This
Fake Grand Order.
is Fate Grand Order Blackbeard.
Oh.
So technically,
okay.
yes. So,
So
technically, yes.
Technically, yes. but also no.
history.
Gotcha, Gremlin,
history-
Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
Gremlin Blackbeard. Okay,
Gotcha,
gotcha.
Gremlin Black.
Okay,
That's
cool.
the easiest way to describe it. Is just Gotcha, Gremlin,
No,
Blackbeard.
all right, that's
So-
fair. I'm on board.
And now I gotta diss everyone here, and this is where things get nuts because, well, first one was Anya. Remember I said before someone didn't pay attention to the assignment. At the very beginning, I said you need to explain why you're the best. Well, Anya did a very good job hyping up like I'm Barrier, Anya. I want to win, all this stuff. Never really said what makes them the best.
Mhm.
So my response was, "You didn't do the assignment. I gave you an assignment, and you turned in a drawing of a peanut." Yeah, don't your face. You're not competing right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then I try to go through an order. Armstrong, I have to be like, no, as one Armstrong, I respect it. That was good, but same time, I wonder how you could stand tall, or did you forget the genocide at Ishbal?
Oh, that's messed up.
It's not even the most messed up verse I had. I had a different one that I canned because I wasn't. I was like, no, I can't go this way. I had a worse. I had a worse one.
Yeah.
Tell us-
I had something.
Tell us off
You,
stream.
you actually.
Off stream.
Okay, I'm about to say. I'll save it because it might come up in a later show.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was no, I had one that was much more messed up. But that was I stuck to that one because I still had to diss him, but like at the same point, that song's good.
Yeah.
And then I turned, and then it was Rugibuchi. I had a very short diss there because again, I know next to nothing about the character. That was the character I was least prepared for. Because it's like, oh, hyena. What rhymes with hyena? Hasta la vista. Terminator, go. Lamest rhyme I can come up with off the top of my head because I still don't really know much about the characters. So I'm like, I know nothing. Even have researched, I'm like, no one's gonna know any of this stuff. None of this is gonna help me. And I can't say Long Live the King because Lion King, that goes against me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a trap.
100%.
But and then I turned to Bill Ding, and I had a little too much fun with him because
This was gold.
both of us are in fighting games. So I said, yeah, we've never faced one-on-one because you can't get out of group stage. You keep drowning in pools.
I
Bill
even
Ding
felt
drowning
that
in the pool.
sting. I even felt that sting. I'm like, oh,
Pour one
somebody
out
get
for
the
Parappa.
burn cream.
Pour one out for building. Pour
I was
one
about
out
to
for
say,
Bill.
I know he gone.
Pour one out for building. Cause
Pour
damn.
one.
It's just
Oh god, I can
'Cause
smell that barbecue from
context,
here.
for context, he's been at several shows that Parappa's been at because he was at, obviously he's been at Krakencon last year.
Yeah.
I believe he was also at. Was he at?
He was at ALA.
I know he was at ALA. Was he at Fanime? I don't remember that. Fanime's the gap I'm missing.
I want to. I forgot. I can't. I don't remember.
Yeah, I have a complete mind blank about everyone that was at that show. I'm sorry. But yeah, so there's been at least 2 shows where he's had a chance to go against me, and we never squared off, because at the first Krakencon when I came as Parappa, he didn't make it past the pools. I got to go against Bill Nye. I moved on, and then ALA, well, he made it to the second round, but didn't make it to the finals because obviously that was a certain Keanu Reeves voiced hedgehog that made it there. So once again, time came and went, didn't get a shot. So it's kind of in this running thing where like Building and Parappa are in the same show, but never quite square off. But I do feel a little guilty because I feel like that was a bit of a hard shot to hit him with, because I concluded with a classic line that anyone who's watched wrestling would know, because I ended it by saying, if you ever face me, I beat you with ease. So why don't you sit down and choke on these nuts?
There it is.
I had to.
There you go.
Had to.
Yeah, dude.
Had to.
You should have had a pack
And
of
then-
peanuts ready for that.
I should have, because that could have worked for both him and Anya, but
Yeah,
I didn't plan very well on that one.
that's alright.
It's okay.
Because
It's
also
okay.
that
It
was
still
complete
worked.
spur of the moment.
It still worked. It still worked.
And then make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Last
Last is
Blackbeard,
last one
yes.
Blackbeard.
And this is where things get interesting, because I can only rap so many bars in a show before I start losing track of my lines. So I decided to do something a little different. I actually tried to go after him with shanties. So I pulled out an old shanty. I said, oh shanty man, ain't no room for a shanty man. Singing songs about the world's gone wrong. No, there ain't no use for a shanty man.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I can do that too.
There you go.
Basically
Yeah.
like nothing special about you. So that was, good call out, basically saying, okay, you can do shanties, so what? And I basically said, that's the difference between us. I can do shanties, but you can't rap. That one bit me in the butt later.
Yeah.
That one bit me so hard in the butt later. I paid
Yeah.
for that one. I
Now,
had to take out a loan for that one.
yeah. So now, of course, the hardest part is getting everybody on stage, and this is where the audience starts to choose who they want, of course, by their means. And it was hard because it was torn
It
between
was
Blackbeard
Really close.
and building.
Ooh.
Because people hated building, but people loved Blackbeard.
It was
So
very
we
close,
had to
honestly.
we had to do it three times.
It was
We had
that
to do it-
close.
It was that close.
I even had to
Because
chime in, make it count,
yeah,
because it was so close every time.
and after me and Mr. Wendell deliberated it. Even when we both shot a glance over at Justin. He's like, "Oh, don't make me choose."
I
I'm not gonna-
should have said, don't put the choice on me. That's just that. This is just me. I don't like having any say in who I face.
Yeah. So that's when we're like, oh, okay. So your finalists are your reigning champion, Pro Rappa, versus Blackbeard. And so, yep. That's where we get part 3 of the rivalry saga.
Part 4, actually.
Oh,
Part 4.
This is part 4.
Parkour.
Parkour. Part 4.
Do
Yeah.
a flip.
So yeah, and again, actually, you know what? We were at that point we were at the 8-minute mark. So I had to let both of them know we have 8 minutes. It has to be 2.
Mhm.
So
2 back and forths. We ended up making it 3 anyway, but we were doing short back and forth, so it worked.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
and
he hit me so freaking hard right out the gate.
yeah, right out the gate, just Blackbeard came swinging.
Damn.
Even all of us were like, oh shit.
Because I said he couldn't rap against me. Because when he was Bill Nye, one of the things that got him in trouble was he rapped too fast and didn't enunciate. People couldn't understand what he was saying.
Uh-huh.
I gave him those notes. He fixed it.
Oh God.
And burned the shit out of me. I'm just like, I shouldn't have given him notes.
I should not have done that. I should not have done
The pop was
that.
so good. It popped so hard. I thought I lost right there.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
have never had a pop hit me that hard. That is probably the hardest I've ever been hit by a single pop.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was
good.
nuts. And then I was like, and then of course
strong.
I have to break out my canned response. You know, the response I always use when someone raps against me. You know, the dog equals MC squared rap.
Mhm.
Look at any of my past shows, it's come up at least once, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So break out the canned response. I get crowds like, "Oh yeah," because it takes more than a couple of bars to be an MC. So they're like, "Yeah, good point." But then I hit him with my counter punch. Okay, so you can throw a few bars, but you still can't sing a shanty because you have not done a single shanty since you walked up here. All you've been doing is singing on stage. What's the difference? Participation. Because a shanty, and as I basically said to him, I turned to the crowd, you gotta do what? You gotta believe. That right there was more of a shanty than anything you've ever done.
Yep.
And that also almost bit me in the ass because he turns right around, takes those notes, and then does a correct shanty. I'm like, he's learning. He's learning.
He's adapting.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm like losing my because like he wasn't supposed to adapt that quick, but he always does. Mad respect, because he then gets the crowd doing an actual shanty and actually tells them what to say, so they actually do the call and response correctly. I'm just like,
Oh no.
but I did have a shanty 2 for him, so I got the crowd to do my version, hit him back with it. I won't spoil it because obviously
Yeah.
want people to actually hear it.
I see it.
So I hit him back with a shanty, and it's like, yeah, see, I can do it too.
Gotcha.
But I basically told him, you may become the best shanty person of all time, but you're not there yet because I had to teach you how to do it.
Damn. That's sick. That's gross. I love it.
Well, I did. The crowd saw it. He admitted that I was right.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But then of course, it's supposed to be the final round. Then Robbie starts in with another shanty. Our Blackbeard just throws out another shanty at it, and I'm just like, okay. We're trying to get off stage. And I'm like, you can't just start another shanty without me hitting with another verse. I pick up the next verse and do one back at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I wonder if that was. I wonder if that's what kind of tipped it over, because it sounded like it was like 50-50 going the whole way.
And then we even snuck in a musical in there somewhere. Because I hit him with, see, that's to quote a musical, anything you can do, I can do it better. I can do anything better than you. And the best part is, I know he couldn't resist joining in.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I know there's no way he's resisting going in for it.
Nice.
Yeah, and of course
I can't wait to watch that.
we had to cut them off because again we were at that 8-minute mark. We were actually at the 55. We were almost at the 3-minute mark, and so yeah, again we had to tell everybody to make it count.
Mhm.
And again, it was very hard.
I wasn't
and
sure if I
very
had it.
close.
I was not sure if I had it. I was doing the whole like the 8-mile pray kind of thing.
Yep.
Just like,
Did the
please.
8-mile pray again, and just we had to give it to Justin, because he did just chiming in, he did an amazing recovery to that first burn, and
Again, that is probably the single hardest hit I've ever taken.
That's pretty savage.
Like that. I don't think I've ever had something pop off me that hard before. And I've been doing this is now I'm going on my 10th year of doing this. I think that is the hardest pop I've ever taken.
That's hardcore. That is hardcore.
Yeah, mad respect for that. That was.
And, I mean,
especially because I don't think
it clearly worked. The very first retention at CarrierCon.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh, jeez, I retained this. Yeah, I get to keep my change.
Parappa still lives.
Well, because it works so well for Parappa.
Mm.
Like
It does.
Was like I said, it wasn't intentional, but it does work so well for Parappa.
Well, like I said, I thought it was part of your costume when I first saw it.
Nope.
No, it's great. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is.
Dude, that sounds like that sounds like a hell of a show. That sounds like it was a hell of a show.
Yeah, I highly recommend. Once it comes out, watch it. It was intense. It was
Nice. Oh, 100%.
definitely the most musical show we've ever done, by far.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I've mentioned this before. The most dangerous thing for the showrunners to ever do is to put me and the guy who plays Blackbeard on stage at the same time. That is the second most dangerous thing you can do. The first most dangerous thing you can do is put us both on stage at the same time and give us both active mics.
Oh man, that's funny.
Future episode. He
Right.
may come on. So-
Actually, he didn't sign up for it yet.
You didn't sign up yet?
Not yet, but I
okay.
know he's going to. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I don't think y'all can handle it if we're both on here at the same time.
No, we're not having both
Oh,
at the same
no,
time.
we-
Hell no. Hell no.
You see,
take over the show.
That's where the episode goes from our standard time limit over to overtime.
That's when Azure and I just kind of not talk. We'll switch it to two screens, just have both of you guys kind of go head to head, and we'll just kind of chill and watch.
Omni. We'll still be on screen. We'll just be lower, and we're just have popcorn. Or
There you go.
Just eating,
Popcorn
just
just
enjoying
that,
it.
yeah.
So,
it would be one of those shows that we would do where it's we would do it like a con wants us, but for whatever reason we can't all go, so we just give them a remote show,
there you
and
go.
then they just
Oh my god, CWF hosted by the Pod Boys. That would be amazing. Let's go. So,
hey, we'll get it working.
There you go. So I think that about covers it for the CarrierCon wrap up. It sounds like it's a hell of a show, and Justin, congrats on the retention, brother. Congrats on the retention.
Thank you so much. And like I said, that was honestly probably one of the most fun shows I've had in a long time.
Very nice.
And that says a lot because I do a lot of shows. So
yeah.
for me to say like this is definitely up there in terms of one of the most fun I've had.
Well, you hit just about all the SoCal shows. You hit a bunch of the NorCal shows. Do you hit SoccerCon too?
He hasn't yet.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I have hit SoccerCon
Wait,
before.
you have?
I have done SoccerCon. I've done both SoccerCon.
Wait a minute, yeah, that's right.
I've done SoccerCon, KomoriCon, Queen City,
Yeah.
ALA, Fanime, Daikon, Anime Destiny. I know I'm missing one. Yumecon.
Okay.
I know
So-
there's more. I know there's more running out of fingers.
Hey, Justin, it's okay. We'll get you next time when it's your actual focus episode.
But
And yes, it's coming.
oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
And yes,
it's coming.
you're not running away from the past.
Oh yes, I am.
I know. Yeah, you're not running away. You're stuck.
We're
You're
not doing
not.
this.
We're
not
not
doing
stuck
this.
in here. We're not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with us, baby.
Oh no. We're
at
not
me.
going there. No.
Look at this.
The past is staying
You
buried.
see this?
Look at this.
This is our world. We just allow you to live in it, sir.
You didn't realize
this
it. I just
is-
domain expansion, baby.
Stand
It was
up
a-
power.
Look,
Backstage.
it was a combination of domain expansion and just me going room.
Oh yes.
For those of you who are not aware, my first
Shambles.
character did not go well, and I've been trying to bury that character for the last 10 years, and there are 2 people who are at that show and remember it, and will never let it stay buried, and one of them is down here. Someone who also debuted at that show and will never let me fucking forget it.
Absolutely not.
I'll never
Oh,
let you forget it.
He told me the story, and I'm very pleased for it. So I can't wait for it. But
Oh.
that's all. Yeah, that'll
That'll
def-
be for an
that-
episode
yeah.
later.
So.
Yeah, that's an episode of all my past mistakes. One.
Oh man, dude, this has been fun. This has been fun.
This
course.
has been fun.
This is gonna be
Oh yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the VOD to come out. I hope you all get the chance to watch it because it was a very, very musical show
You know what?
in all the
Actually,
best ways.
This episode was also really, really good. Like
It
we can.
was. This kind of just felt like,
Like-
this one just felt like the boys chatting.
Yeah, it was. It is the boys chatting.
which
I-
I'm alright with. The boats.
Honestly, I think we should just make it a. We could just make it a staple for like our post-con shows where anybody from the cast, whoever wants to come on the episode,
That's
we could
not a bad
just do
idea.
that. We could do that chat. I mean, because we don't want to just regulate it to just the winner of the show. We also want to put people who want to come in and chat it up with us. Because hey,
That sounds good.
we're the Pod Boys. Azure and Omni are good guys to talk to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And plus, if you make it so it's always the winner, I'm just gonna keep coming on the show.
Bro,
Don't bully yourself.
hold on, hold on. What's that right there? What was that yours? That you lost to me?
I mean, I had to give you a little share.
So you
win with you in the bowl.
always win. So you always
I
you
didn't
didn't win.
say I always win. I just said I keep winning.
You-
Wait, hold on. I just realized something, and this is actually a fun thing to end on because it is the freaking trifecta in this freaking episode. Because I lost to him, he lost to you, and then are we just gonna go into a?
I haven't lost.
Are we just gonna go into
I
the
have-
thing?
You know what? If you win at Fanime, the cycle is complete. The circle's complete.
Actually, so I'll let you know.
No.
Yep.
No, I know their plan, so I have a personal bias on who I want to face in the finals.
I know it's not me because you don't want to deal with me twice.
Oh no, are you kidding? I beat you once, I can beat you again. I'm not worried about you.
I mean, you got 1 win. I got 3.
I've only faced you once. I've only done one. I've gone 1-on-1 against you one time, and I'm 1-0 against you.
I'm saying you've won 1 title. I've won 3.
I have been performing for like half as long as you have, sir. And
Yes and no. We can't count the first
actually-
half of my career because I was only doing 1 show a year.
And actually, so you say you've won 3. I have also won 3 titles, and I did it in 2 shows. So technically, I have a 150% success ratio. So
Okay, we're not going into Steiner math right
suck
now.
on that.
And they
It spelled
spelled
disaster for you at Fanime. Because
You.
Azure's
I did Steiner math first.
Azure's
did
not
Steiner
going
math
to
first,
fight me
that's
because
gone.
he knows.
Oh my god.
But I'm the ultimate
Rebecca,
life
so I'm
form, and I ain't
Steiner math.
normal.
What the hell are you talking about, Omni? All 3 of us, we're all genetic freaks.
And we ain't normal.
Everybody
we're
do
normal.
the gut pose.
Oh, GG too easy. Oh man, this is great.
All the smack talk.
Right, dude, Justin, my dude, it's always a ton of fun working with you, man. You're an absolute riot up there on stage. Even when
Of course, my dude.
yeah, dude, love working with you. I think,
Same.
and I want to shout out one thing. You were talking about Bucky earlier. Shout outs for using Jonathan Young for your entrance music.
Yep.
So I'm a huge Jonathan Young
Young's
fan.
Let It Go. That was
Yeah,
the best part.
It's Jonathan Young's Let It Go, which is just it's so good. It makes me laugh. Jonathan Young's probably my favorite music artist. He actually does the intro music to the podcast during the waiting screen as well too. So it's an instrumental of I believe it's Starship Velociraptor. So shout out to
excellent
Jonathan
choice.
Young.
Excellent
Yeah,
choice,
oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
I use Hyperspeed for my personal stream.
Nice.
So
So,
yeah, dude.
Justin, any closing comments for the listeners, to the VOD watchers, to the chat?
I mean, there's only one thing I can say at this point. You gotta do what? You gotta believe.
Hey,
there you go.
that powerful.
I
I gotta
believe.
end the way it starts.
I believe. I believe.
Wait, Bo next?
Yeah. Omni, you got anything?
I got nothing, man. Like, it was honestly going 1-on-1 against you at ALA was a ton of fun. I'm not saying that just because I won. I'm just saying because it was a super fun battle royale.
It was.
It was a super fun one. And when you were like, dude, when you said, "Oh, by the way, why don't you put your Supernova title as well too?" I was like, "Oh my god, did he just do what I think he did? Let's fucking go!" And stuff like that only comes from you because you do dumb stuff like that, and that's freaking awesome, man.
The thing is, I have this habit that I've gotten into over the time. There are certain things I know people will go for. I don't tell them I'm going to do it, but I know the person enough to know that they will go for it because they can't resist. It's like Roger Rabbit when you're doing shaving
yeah.
a haircut.
Oh yeah.
And you start twitching, you're just like, I can't resist. Yeah,
Too big.
exactly. But yeah, for you, that was daring you to put the belts on. I could see you like twitching like Roger Rabbit, like I can't do. I gotta.
Oh no, I didn't even think about it. I was no hesitation. Like, let's freaking go.
And I did the same thing to Blackbeard when I started doing
The shanties.
anything you could act do better. I knew anything you could act do better. I knew damn well there's no way they could not join the song.
That's awesome.
I knew they couldn't resist. So it's like,
Oh man.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's some people I know something that will set them off, and I know they won't be able to resist it, and I'm just like, play it in my hands because you can't resist. I know you're not gonna be able to say no to this.
Dude,
You can't refuse.
I love working with the band. I'm looking forward to our future freaking competitions, bro. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Oh, for sure, it's gonna be a blast.
Azure,
I
any
guess I'll
final
take-
comments?
Yeah, I'll take the floor. So, I just want to give a shout out to CarrierCon. CarrierCon
Yeah.
is a ongoing and growing convention, and it has been an absolute blast to perform for. So for all of those who want to go there and see not only our show, but just to see just that absolute relic of a ship and just location, just 100% highly recommended. I mean, come on, you're actually getting 3 shows. You're getting 3 shows, dude. You're getting us. You're getting the convention, and you're getting a museum tour.
It sounds
That-
awesome. I'm definitely gonna try to do CarrierCon next year. So I don't know which character I'm gonna bring, but that's a year from now. So I got plenty of time to think about it. But I'm looking. It sounds like a ton of fun. So
Yeah.
all right,
And
let's-
social media plugins. Omni, do yours.
the Glorious Omni on Twitch. I've actually been streaming more frequently now, so it's been fun. I've been enjoying that.
Justin, you have none, so I don't think you can.
I have no
I don't think
socials.
you
I don't
can.
do social media.
You don't have
Ah.
social.
He-
However,
he's smarter than all. He's
if you
smarter
want
than
to
all of us.
see this guy beat some absolute ass in fighting games,
Oh,
you get to watch him. He actually did really good in Evo last year,
Oh, that's
and
right,
also
he's-
he is.
I made day 2. That's all I was able to make it to day 2. I survived that long.
Yeah, and also he's also up and coming in the in the Bay Area scene. So yeah, just be on the lookout for those Bay Area fighting game streams. He plays
There you
Street
go.
Fighter. Trying to get him into Tekken.
What's your fighting
But-
game? What's your fighting game handle?
My name handle is Doki Doki FTR.
There you go. Keep a lookout.
The
Doki
FTR is
Doki
for
FTR.
Feel the Rhythm.
Yes.
Feel the rhythm.
That's such a weak
And-
name. I
What can I say?
love it.
If it's not obvious, I'm a DJ main.
Yeah. And my socials, you can find me at Azure Mage 422. I also am starting to stream more because I'm making sure my setup is stable before I get my new setup. And hey, some collabs may be coming along the line. Is that right, my buddy, my boy?
We're thinking about some things and stuff. Some things and stuff down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Upcoming shows. Oh, sorry. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. So, upcoming shows. We got confirmed we are going to be performing at Fangia in San Diego, California. That is going to be Saturday, April 12th, Sunday, April 13th. We are going to be up at SakuraCon, of course. That is going to be Thursday, the weekend of Thursday, April 17th. We are going to be performing at Comic-Con Revolution, which is going to be May 17th and 18th. We have a show and a little special presentation for that. Fanime, of course, which is going to be the weekend of May 23rd. Hentai
Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep, the day Shadow falls.
I don't know about all that. We'll see. We'll see.
Let's see if you're paying attention.
We all know Parappa's not going to do that because he tried once and that didn't work.
Eh.
We are also going I'm pretty sure we got the okay for a Hentai Matsuri as well too, June 12th or 13th through the 15th. And I think that's all the big main ones coming up in the next couple of months. So there's more throughout the rest of the year, but we will cross those bridges when we get there. Yeah. So,
Also, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, and also just listening into the VOD, if you want CWF to Cosplay Wrestling Federation to show up at one of your local conventions or one of your big events in your state, hit us that follow. Hit us up. Ask the event. We will submit to them, and if they want us, we will show up, and we will give you the most electrifying show in cosplay sports entertainment.
Guaranteed fact. CWF is the best panel that you ever will go to at any con. I was a fan first. Best con I ever went to as a fan. Then I got involved with these guys. Now it's my favorite panel as a performer. It's my number one reason for going to cons now.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
dude.
And
Except I skipped the family. I just jumped in with both feet.
Nah, I jumped in as a fan. So, that being said, this was an awesome episode. Justin, my dude, great having you on. I'm looking forward to actually having our interview rather than you joining us for the CarrierCon recap. So,
Oh, it's a blast. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun. So, for our current reigning, defending, undisputed, best of all time, the one, the only, the boat champion, my man, Justin. I am the Glorious Omni, and this is my boy.
I am Azure Mage with my boy Glorious Omni.
And we will see you at the next episode of the CWF Backstage Pass podcast. Thanks for watching.
In America.